Why is the Pakistani region being ignored and not come up with a genuine solution? Is it because do you want to gatekeep talent, or because you don't have any knowledge how to deal with a simple problem?
So those are reasons which I think I would rather own up and say that I have not been able to do this year. I just accept that that I have failed my audience back in Pakistan, and the year, if it still doesn't satisfy you, please, I'll be up for as harsh judgment as much as this year as well. This is again personal dream of mine.
Personal dream, yeah.
Let's see how things go.
Talking about the fans themselves, I have the fan questions ready for you, right? From Twitter. I had put out a tweet, of course, I'm pretty sure
Oh
you saw
Jesus
it.
Christ,
Yes, and the fans have questions for you, which are pretty much all
my
across the
God.
place. Question number one, sir, who are you?
रिश्ते में तो हम तुम्हारे बाप होते हैं नाम है सुकमाल. All right, yeah, sorry. I mean, like, guys, I think the best way to answer this question is that, like, मैं आपका सेवक हूँ. मतलब, I'm here to service the entire region, all your requirements as much as humanly possible, and that is the only identity that I have for you guys. Of course, beyond that, I am a father. I'm also a husband. I have two boys, two cats, and one dog. And all of you combined, including you, the audience, plus my bosses, my family, everybody keeps me entirely busy. I have to literally wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning so that I can barely keep myself on top of all the checklists that I have from everybody. So other than that, I amazing time doing this job of being the sevak of this region, and that's who I am right now. I mean, that's the way I identify myself, as being your sevak.
Right, okay. That's a great answer. I'm pretty sure people would like that. Number two, is there any chance of Riot hosting a major event, Masters or kickoffs in South Asia?
Why not? I mean, who said that there is a chance? There is no chance. This is a guarantee. I'm like, this is a what? Not a guarantee. This is a warranty, actually. Okay, so it has two caveats. The caveat, first of all, which we have already, I think, demonstrated, that we do have the capability to to be the host for events that host teams from other regions, plus being able to put up a product that is being done at a certain quality bar, which I think people can enjoy globally and can still see the Riot in it.
Yeah.
Third thing that we also do, that we have the ability to create engagement with fans who would come and watch games despite Indian teams not playing. Of course, we do have a lot of support for Indian teams, but I think people just love to watch good Valorant, and I think these are the three things that we have been able to do with conversions. And every year, I think we are progressing closer and closer to our bid of actually hosting the highest tier of Valorant esports and other events as well. Why just restrict yourself to Valorant, right? So this is where I think the key moment is happening. Every year we do something like this, and I think it's just going to. I mean, like, I would not like to put a year to it, but I would believe that we are closer to hosting bigger events than ever.
Well, that's good to hear, sir. Um, why is the VCT Pacific only limited to South Korea? Is there a possibility of it actually turning into an Asian tour where matches will be held across the continent throughout the calendar with a point like system for placement, like ESL Pro Tour, but with EME Americas and Pacific?
Yeah, I definitely would like to see something like a format which can be traveling around. That again, that this is my own personal view, right? So I think Jake and David and team are have been thinking a lot deeply about it, including the main leadership for esports at Riot as well, saying how do we keep on evolving the VCT, and like right now, say, like I said, all right, I'd love to see something which we can have across more opportunities for different regions. Why just have masters and champions which are moving around? Why can't we
Yeah.
have Pacific that can also move around? I think that's a valid point, and there, like you said, there have been examples of how it has been done before. Whether it is going to be relevant for us or not is something which I think is still a little bit away from the decision point, because right now I think we are still in a point of saying, hey, this product is still not complete for us to be able to, let's say, to take it out of a particular place or anything like that, right? So I
Yeah.
think this is still this is just year two, I would say, 2024.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say, let's cook the Pacific product a little bit more. And once I think it's ready, then we can definitely take it around and have more people
The
taste it
roadshow.
in person, right? This is again personal dream of mine.
Personal dream, yeah.
Let's see how things go, and
Okay.
I would love to have it. Along with all South Asian fans, we would love to have Pacific do some sort of a roadshow here as well.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that it can be the entire product, but if some road shows happen here as well, then I would be there as a fan as well.
Absolutely. Um, why did Riot India not allow TOs like Sky Sports, Upthrust, Penta to host off-season tournaments? Penta was a scheduled event which was then cancelled.
Oh, that's a very spicy question,
Yeah.
right? So there is no, no, I think there's no skirting around this issue. So let's take it the bang on, right? So I think the core thing that we care about is the fan experience. Let's just put it as clearly as that. And for that, I think we are more than happy to work with all our partners, including the TOs, to see what is the best experience that we can bring to our fans, uh, as long as the guidelines are met and we are able to accommodate based on dates availability plus the scope of what is possible
Yeah.
from an event like that, right? So this is, I think, the basis of all major decisions that we do. The reality, of course, it sounds nice on paper, it feels like it's relatively simple and blah blah blah, but the reality can have multiple parameters, things like, hey, because then earlier I said, the biggest the most critical thing about doing esport events is capital,
Yeah.
right? And capital is a reality which nobody can, like, say, skirt away from. So this is something which is also our responsibility to be able to, to do events.
Yeah.
Forget about just being able to get licenses. So I don't think that it is anybody's responsibility to do events or sole responsibility. I think it's we all have to come together to do events, including support from the fans, from orgs, as well as from publishers, plus brands as well, to come together to make an event happen. It's not just
Yeah.
one, person. We don't say that we are not giving licenses. It's not like TO says we will not do the event although we got the license. It is, I think, a lot of things have to come together for events to happen, and this is where I think that's the reason why you might have a lot of events planned at the top of the funnel. The output of actually doing an event is still very narrow, because, like I said earlier, our criteria, our job is to make sure that, fans don't have a bad experience
Yeah.
when it comes to events, right? And at the end of the day, a lot of things need to come together for events to happen, and multiple points of failure. And like I said, we do own up to things that are, where we have missed out, and nobody is to be blamed for it alone. At the end of the day, we all take responsibility if events have been announced and they have not been delivered, and we don't hold anybody responsible for it, other than we just say, hey, no, there is a better way of doing things, and maybe we will come together to do the same event in the next year.
All right. Absolutely. So, sir, two more questions. Actually, three more. Number one,
Two.
no,
Wow.
three. You got three more. Why isn't the VCL SA promoted properly?
Oh, that's a great question. No, so I would definitely love to know how we can do this better, because, like I earlier said, right? So we have potentially been doing things based on the earlier success that we had, back in 2020, 2021, where I think the game itself was so much attention was being generated of the game that, everything was lapped up without the need for us to publish products correctly,
Yeah.
right? So that also means that we either, have been not able to focus well on publishings. And second thing is also, we are, at the end of the day, it's just this year that we have had a much bigger, or at least more people in the team, and so that's another reason why we have not been able to, let's say, do the whole publishing bit correctly, or as much as we would have liked to. But like I said, now, we have done this with convergence, right, where we were able to, get the do it, at least some part of it correctly, where we will, get the conversations out.
Yeah.
I don't say that like no that was the perfect or that was the best or whatever it is, but at least like no what we were able to do is like not rely on the game is good and popular, so people will come. No, that's
Yeah.
not the way we wanted to approach convergence. And I think that's the same thing we want to like approach this year as well. And we will make mistakes, and we will fall short of more things than what we planned for. We cannot be completely prepared for it, and I would love for fans to like to really tell us where what they would like to see more, what they would like to hear more, what narratives would they like to see played out on stage, and those are the things that I think we can double down on. At the end of the day, it is our product. I mean, it's
Yeah.
not my product, nor Riot's product or Norvin's product. It's the fan product. I mean, if the fans don't come for it, if you're not doing it correctly, then I think I want the fans to like come up and
Let you know
troll
what's
me.
what. Let you, yeah. All right. This is a penultimate question. Why? And this is slightly. I think this is something that we've seen on Twitter quite a bit as well, and you've talked about it before. But I'm pretty sure people would appreciate this. Why is the Pakistani region being ignored and not come up with a genuine solution? Is it because do you want to gatekeep talent, or because you don't have any knowledge how to deal with a simple problem? Is what Ballistic is asking.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, I think that's a great question, and also, well, I love talent, right? At the end of the
Yeah.
day, I think when anybody from the region, doesn't matter which country they belong to, it's our shared region do well, and I think I become super proud when the team from Pakistan went on to do very well at the Red Bull Campus
Campus clutch, yeah.
Clutch. Yes, Campus Clutch, and they like really represented the country or the region along with the country very well. And I think I couldn't be more proud of the fact, and I do that say own up to the fact that they have been disappointed. And like I said, nobody see the thing is like when you call up a bank for a problem that you're facing, right? And the person that's there on the other line starts gaslighting, not gaslighting, but telling you, hey, my accounts team did not do this, my blah, blah. Is that what you're willing to listen? No, you are concerned about is my problem going to be solved? And you are the only person who I can speak to.
Yeah.
So I'm going to like let it out on you. I think this is what I need to be able to, let's say, own up. And I don't think that I'm going to like offer any reason, logic, or whatever it is that has delayed the decision or the most logical move of, let's say, moving, let's say, Pakistan to a region which is more accessible for them. So those are reasons which I think I would rather own up and say that I have not been able to do this year. And absolutely, there is no other way for me to explain this, and I just accept that, that I have failed my audience back in Pakistan, and I'm super sorry that I was not able to solve or resolve it as much as not just your expectation, but my own expectation as well. And I'm going to approach this year again with a fresh start. And again, hold me to this at the end of the year. Again, if the solution that is going to eventually come and land in on your screens by the end of the year, if it still doesn't satisfy you, please I'll be up for as harsh judgment as much as this year as well.
All right.
I own up.
Well,
I failed.
hoping for a solution. So hopefully, because we've seen some great talent come out from there, and hopefully they can, start performing in a much better sense. Last question, sir. This is something that I've always ended previous video as well. Valorant mobile updates.
It's coming. I mean, it is coming. It's in the works. The exact date or when, which year, I think those are more dependent on a lot more people than like just my pay grade. Because at the end of the day, I'm a simple esports person. And if you ask me, like, do I want it? Yes, I wanted it yesterday so that I can do more events around Valor Mobile. But I think it is also a big responsibility for the game team to deliver something that lives up to the expectation of how Valorant as a brand has been able to create itself. But at the same time, it being a mobile game also has to be more accessible to the 200x new set of players that are going to come in. And play a game like Valorant, which they have heard so much their PC friends talk about,
Mm-hmm.
and find it extremely difficult for them to like really find what was this game so much that you liked it so much. I'm like, no, I don't like it because it's so damn hard. So I
Mm.
think a lot of things have to be like done correctly before I think we can safely say like that this is the game that we all wanted to see. So I would all request everybody who's tuning in to like be a little patient with us. I know I sound like a broken record, but I think that is the way to go. We want to do this correctly, which I said last year as well.
Yeah.
Again, being self-aware. I know I said it last year, but like you, I'm also a fan. I also have a lot of patience. I'm also waiting. But in the meantime, the one thing that is on my plate, which is a reality, is VCT and hopefully convergence at the end of the year. Those are things that are keeping me, my head buzzing every day. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and I tune into the universe to see what all insights does he have for me this week to keep me like busy. And I know that there is about 100x set of people who are waiting for this game, including me. So that's all I can say. I'm like, let's be a little bit more patient. Let's keep grinding our ranks because Premier needs contender for you to be able to play in the open qualifiers. So please don't forget to play Premier because that is the path to getting into our CL from now onwards, this year
Mm-hmm.
onwards. And we definitely will get to see with the VCSA that a lot of old talent is going to come with some very interesting surprises, which the fans will definitely love without leaking it. All I can say is some great talent is going to return. Plus, you're going to see some really new talent that's going to come up without having to go through the hoops of finding orgs or having to have even to get visible, right? So
Yeah.
we have Premier by which they can prove themselves, and if they're good, they deserve a place to be in the CL, irrespective
Absolutely.
of what org they represent or whoever they are being signed up for. That's all.
Absolutely. Agreed, sir. And hoping that, Valor Mobile does come soon because I'm pretty sure, it's going to stir up quite a bit of traction, at least in, not just South Asia, but also Southeast Asia as well. Because, of course, here mobile esports is, well, absolutely massive.